welcome to this Essentials practice. It's called 3 Rivers, and I designed it to be a morning or an afternoon practice. The 3 rivers I'm trying to access are the rivers of our immunity, which is the lymphatics, and we can address that by a gentle massaging of the skin from the ends of our body toward our heart center. So there will be self-massage in this practice. Cardio, it's not going to quite be like a HIIT class or anything like that, but I do want the heart to beat a little bit faster by the end of this. And then finally, the 3rd river is the river of our digestive system, which we address as twists. So let's begin. Feel free to start comfortable seated. I'm going to mirror you for this first one. Start with your right shin in front of your left shin, and you're going to slide your sitting bones back. This is a seated cross-legged forward fold. And you're going to slide your sitting bones back and exhale, reach forward. So if you can fold forward all the way, your arms go a little bit further, that's fine. But make sure this feels like an okay initial opening for thighs, for hips. And so hands are on the floor. You're going to take one hand to the other, and it's just gentle. It's almost like gentle brush strokes of one hand, skin massaging, self-massaging, stroking the skin from hand toward shoulder. And so you do this just a few times here, and so this helps stimulate lymphatic flow in our arms. So you do that a couple more times here on one arm. And you might notice that it feels like it warms up a little bit or becomes more sensate. From here, come up to seated, lean back and switch the lacing of your legs. So now your left shin is in front. Slide your sitting bones back. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, you fold forward again. Make sure this forward fold feels okay for knees, outer thighs, and hips. And then from here, so then you can take these gentle strokes up the other arm. And once again, if you have had like deep tissue massage, this is the opposite. We're not going deep into the musculature. We're really just working cutaneously, subcutaneously. It's not a deep stroke. It can just be along the surface of the skin. If you're wearing clothing, you go beyond it. Lymphatics work on top of cloth. So you can make these surface level strokes up your other arm another time or two. Okay. Great, and then you can make your way up, and let's come through hands and knees, and please take your right foot forward in a relaxed lunge. Some of you may need a block if you want to block under your left hand. So my right foot's forward, your right foot forward. I would take a block underneath my left hand if I felt I wanted the height. So from here, the right foot's forward, you can relax your hips toward your front foot for a bit more stretch in the hips, especially along inner legs. That's good for lymphatics. And left hand can be on block or the floor. Right hand, you're now going to brush the skin of your leg up toward the hip. So you can go around along the inside leg, brush the skin of inside leg up toward hip. And this is just a general warming up of the lymphatic rivers for our immune system. Okay. Yeah, and after several of those skin strokes on one leg, you take your right foot back. You can take the block to the other side if you were using it. Left foot forward, and we're going to come into a relaxed lunge here. So you soften your hips toward the front foot. Right hand on block or right hand on the floor. Okay. Make sure that feels solid for hips. And then from there, you can start to lightly stroke the skin of your left leg from your foot up to the hip. And this is just a general way of warming up the skin of the body. Okay. Yeah, and after going around your left leg, You can take your hands to the floor, come back to hands and knees, and then over to the first side, right foot forward. From here, you can either keep your back leg down, or if you want to start the cardio a little early on this one, curl your toes under and lift your back heel up. Okay. And then from here, you're going to take both hands to the inside of your right foot. Okay. So right foot's forward, left hand's on the ground, and you can take a couple of the strokes with your right hand up the left arm, since we're going to lift our arm. So the right arm's doing the massage, and then after a couple of those strokes, you can stroke your way all the way up toward the ceiling and open this up into a twist. And so your right arm's reaching up toward the ceiling, left hand presses through the floor. All right, so whatever's on the ground, you press it into the ground, roll your navel up. So for the third river we're working on, our digestive river, first twist, deep belly breath into the twist. Take a big inhale, big exhale. And one last time, breath in. Okay, great. And then your hands can come down, back knee comes down, and let's switch this one up. So from hands and knees, you're now going to step your left foot forward, and both hands come to the inside of your front foot. Okay, and you can stay here. You can do all this work with your back knee down. If you'd like to, you lift your back knee up, and so the back leg is strong. You're driving it. And then from here, right hand's on the floor. You can pick up your left hand, and you can make a couple strokes here, up the arm. So now the arm's working a little bit harder. The muscles are engaged on this one a lot more fervently. Okay, and then you can take that stroke even across the heart center and reach your left arm up toward the ceiling into a twist. I'm going to turn around for demonstration purposes, but you're just lifting your left arm up toward the ceiling, and you're rolling your belly into a twist as well. You can also breathe into belly. Yeah, and whatever's on the floor, you drive it into the floor, you reach your arm up. Let's take one more breath into abdominal center. Take a deep breath in. Okay, great. And then hands onto the floor. Take your front leg back to hands and knees. From here, curl your toes under and lift back into downward facing dog. So hands and knees on the ground. And your inner thighs lift up toward the ceiling. And you can take this downward facing dog fairly long. Now I'm going to have you lift your heels up a little bit to lift your inner thighs up, so the spine is as long as possible. And then from here, so it's a little bit of like a strength and a cardio challenge here. We're going to start by lifting the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Hopefully you can feel your lower back stay engaged. And what I'd like you to do is keep your low back engaged. And over the course of 15-20 seconds, we're going to start bending your knees. And over 20 seconds, you're gonna bend your knees so that your knees almost touch the floor. So that was 5 seconds, so we're a quarter of the way down. And that's 10 seconds, so the knees are halfway down to the mat. And if it feels okay, there's like 15 seconds, 3/4 of the way down. And from here, it's about 20 seconds. So the knees are almost to the ground, but then we're gonna come up over 20 seconds too. So you're gonna lift up as slowly as you went down. So you start slowly extending your legs. And we're about 10 seconds into that, so the knees are halfway up. So you're slowly extending legs, slowly extending legs, slowly extending legs. And 3, 2, 1. Full extension. Drive your heels back far. Take a deep breath in. And exhale from there. Bend your knees and come into a standing forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like on this one. So, but otherwise you can get a big leg stretch in the back of the legs. Also around your spine. From here, alternate arm strokes. So one hand strokes the one arm, other hand strokes the other arm. Do that a few times. For your arms. And then from here, both hands can stroke one leg. So it's like now you can massage, give a lymphatic massage on both sides of your leg at once. And then you can do that same thing for your other leg. So both hands can, for a lot of people, that like they can gently wrap around the whole leg. You can get the whole leg done at once. Okay, very good. And then from here, come up to standing. We're going to step the right foot forward and place the block to the inside of your right foot. Right foot forward, left foot back. This is pyramid. You're going to bend your front knee, turn your hips forward, and then pubic bone back, heart forward. And you're going to take left hand to block, right hand to hip. Okay. And so you're going to press the big toe mound down, hip slides back. So now we're getting for many of us, a dramatic leg stretch in the back of your right leg. Okay, now if you need the support for this, you can keep your left hand on the block, you keep it where it is. If it's available though, if you can balance on just your feet, you can let go of the block and make some brush strokes up your front leg. And you might even be able to get the inner outer ankle, maybe even the top of your foot. Okay, so a few more here. Okay, great. And after a few brushes there, replace your left hand back onto the block, and we're going to arch your back and lengthen your lungs. So from here, we're going to transition from pyramid to revolve triangle. Left hand's on the block. Your right hand, you can brush stroke your bottom arm and across the heart and roll your belly and reach your fingers up toward the ceiling. So now we're opening this up into a twist, revolving past your front leg. Now this is a twist. I also encourage you to breathe into your abdomen. As your feet press down, your heart reaches up. And so this is a great pose for all three rivers. The heart's working, blood's pumping in a bunch of places, the lymphatics are getting wrung out, as well as our digestive tract. So 2 more breaths. Take a big inhale, big exhale, and one last time. Okay, and then de-rotate. You can pick up your block as you come all up to standing. So you're going to lift up, step up, and left foot forward, right foot back. I'm going to change sides, but you don't have to. I'm just changing sides for demonstration purposes. Block to the inside of your left foot. Knee bends a little. Turn hips forward, pubic bone back, and you take your right hand to the block. And from here, let's get this dramatic stretch from the front foot, left foot, big toe mound roots, and you slide your left hip back. Okay. So the front leg is straightening. It never has to be straight, but it is going in that direction. If this feels like enough of a balance challenge with your right hand on the block, go ahead and stay here. If it's available, you can take hands and give yourself a sort of two-handed lymphatic massage up the front, up your left leg, from foot to hip. And in this case, you can also grab the inner outer ankle skin, drag it up a little bit, and maybe even the top of your foot. Okay. So great. Of course, if you can't do that with 2 hands, you can always do it with 1 hand. And then from here, you're now going to take your right hand back onto the block, replace it onto the block. And then from here, left hand, you can, on your way into revolve triangle, you can take a skin stroke of your right hand and across the heart center, and then reach your right arm up toward the left arm up toward the ceiling. So your navel's rolling to the left, past your front thigh. And you're reaching up. As you're reaching up, everything that's on the floor, you're driving down. And I encourage you to breathe into abdomen. It's already being wrung out. And to really tap into the 3rd river of digestion, you can also breathe into belly. And there's a few more breaths here. Okay, very nice. And then from here you can de-rotate, block out of the way this time. And from here, hands plant, step back into plank position. So now we're in plank, and if your hands don't like this, just stay on forearms. If you can be up in plank the whole time, that's fine. I encourage you, what we did with the knees earlier, I encourage you to bend your elbows slowly and lower your heart. Doesn't have to be even far. Doesn't have to be all the way down. But you're going to bend your elbows to lower your heart somewhat. Try to do this slowly. You can stop wherever you'd like. I'm not going to be as specific on this one. But you can lower down as much or as little as you'd like. And then you're going to slowly come back up. And of course, the upper body starts to work a lot. Yeah, arms can start to shake. I mean, mine are. And we're going to slowly come back up to a straight arm plank. Take a deep breath in. There's a little bit of cardio for the arms. And then exhale from there. Come around to seated and onto the back. Okay. And after being on the back, if you're lying down on the back, you're going to take your arms out to the sides and bring your legs either thighs straight up and down, or you can add your shins straight up and down as well. So knees can be bent 90 degrees, or legs can be straight. And as you inhale, you're in the middle on inhale. Arms are out to sides. Exhale, you can take your legs to one side as much as you'd like, as long as you keep your opposite shoulder down. So legs can go out to the side, and you hold this for a breath or two. So you hold the legs in Jatara Parivartanasana. And then as you inhale, you slowly come back up to center. And then we can try that on the other side. Your legs are going to go to the left as far as you'd like, as long as you can keep your opposite shoulder down. The legs hover, so they're not on the ground. And you maintain that pose. And here's our cardio that involves abdominals quite a lot. Spiral line in the system. And then you come back up to center, feet on the floor. And finally, back body engages to lift up in the bridge pose, which will count for our inversion today. As you press your feet down, you lift your hips up. Also, if you'd like, interlace your fingers underneath you, slide your arms toward one another, and press your biceps down to lift your chest. And then deep breath in the belly and into heart center. Breathe in, big exhale, twice more. Exhale, and breath in. Okay, arms out of the way, lower your hips, and you draw your knees into chest. Take a deep breath into your low back. All right, and then from here, come up to seated, comfortable seat, cross-legged or otherwise. And you can relax your eyes open or closed, and for the last 30 seconds, notice the flow of your skin. So notice your skin, especially arms and legs. Notice the river of your circulatory system, the blood, your heartbeat. And notice the river of your digestion, belly center. Okay, great. You can gently open your eyes. Okay, great. I hope this was a good way to tap into your fluid system. This is always a good time to drink water after doing such a lymphatic practice. So I recommend that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Namaste.